Right. When are we officially starting this podcast? Welcome back to another episode of My Athletic Compendium. How are you?
I'm alright. How are you?
I'm alright.
I'm alright.
Yeah, I'm good. What's new with you? You've lost the mullet?
The mullet's gone.
Yeah.
Luscious locks. It might make a reappearance at some point, but
You'll have
not
to grow it
anytime
back.
soon.
It'll be quite a slow reappearance, but
I don't know. My hair grows really quick.
nice.
I'm already due a cut, and this was only last week.
Interesting.
But I get mine done like well too frequently.
Mm-hmm.
Once every other week. Cost me £50 a month.
Nice, mate. Nice. Glad you can afford it. Right, should we start the podcast? Because
yeah.
I'm sure the listeners don't really want to listen to it.
My athletic haircut.
Ooh,
Ooh, spin-off series.
here we go. So what are we talking about this week?
I think I'm going to talk about run clubs.
I think that would be a nice little caveat.
Yeah, it seems to be very popular at the moment.
It does. You've started your own, haven't you?
Yeah. Been going.
Do you want to tell everyone a little bit more about your run club?
Yeah, I suppose. So it's been going since, I want to say September.
Yeah. 2023.
October, yeah, 23. Or August, I can't remember. Anyway. But yeah, it's been going a little while, but not ages. It's grown scarily quick. And I think that's the point of why I wanted to bring them up, to be fair, because they're popping up everywhere, and I think it's a really good thing.
Yeah. It's
I see benefit from it.
like we've spoken previously about park runs and how they're a really nice entry level thing for people. But I think running, well, it's definitely come more to the forefront of my brain. I never really considered it to be something I would do, but you know, the older I'm getting, the more I'm like, yeah, I'd like to go for a 5K or go for a 10K. Whereas when I was younger, I never really did that, just playing the sport. But there's definitely, it's nice to see. I'm sure there's always been running clubs, haven't there?
Yeah.
But like Run Club, as its own little entity, definitely popping up in lots of different places. I've got some mates that over in Australia at the moment, and they've set up one over there. And you've set up one. There's loads just popping up. But how often do you do yours?
Twice a week.
Mm-hmm.
We've got it's advertised as a social run, so meet up, go for a 5 kilometre, and then have a coffee afterwards, or a Canoops, which is a hot chocolate place. Have a little social afterwards, and then go home.
Nice.
We're entering into a couple of events. We've got Chester 10K, Liverpool Half Marathon. So for anyone who's interested, can get involved in those.
What's the entry level like? Like, do you get a complete mix of people doing it, or?
It is a bit of a mix, to be fair. A lot of them just through like mates of ours, mine, and like Lauren's mates and stuff. A lot of them are like rugby players or whatever. So, which is a really nice one for them, because it's just like a recovery run after a game on a Saturday.
Yeah.
But a lot of them is like just a mix of people. There's so like we had a weird realization last week where there was only one person out of 20 people that came that we knew before starting Run Club. The rest were just random people coming from Instagram or friends of friends or whatever. But yeah, the range of people, you got people who are just starting running, people who haven't ran in ages that are getting back into it, people who are really competitive, like there's some really fast runs there.
So how do you run your run club to cater for everyone?
Good question. So we, like I said, it's advertised as a social run, so it's kind of like people go into it expecting it not to be like a fast run anyway, which definitely helps. And then I'll talk them through the route, or I'll post the route on the group chat a couple of days before, so people can kind of scout it out a little bit. But then otherwise we just do like relatively frequent stops, like say every 700 metres or so. If we start to break away from each other, we'll stop and then let the back end catch up. You all right? Yeah. Carry on.
Got you.
So it's kind of like, can be a bit stop-starty, but not that bad, to be honest at all, because like I said, it's advertised as a social.
So it's definitely more of a social thing than you're going to go for a 10K and it's going to be a good time. It's more like get out, see the fresh air. See the fresh air.
See the fresh air.
Get some fresh air and see like the landscape and just have a chat with people.
Yeah, and to be honest, like our run club in particular is like, it's the social after.
Yeah.
It's really good. Everyone bounces off each other. I don't know whether it's like a mixture of the endorphins and the caffeine mixed together, and everyone's really bubbly and chatty and that.
Sounds like a good recipe.
It's a good recipe, yeah. So yeah, the socials afterwards are a really good crack.
Nice. I've definitely seen, you guys grow, which is great to see. And obviously it's not for profit or anything like that,
No,
is
no,
it?
it's completely non-profit. Yeah.
I think that's also part of the reason why they're so popular, and it's so start again. It's another reason why so many things like parkrun are like they blow up in popularity because the level of entry is minimal. You don't have to pay anything, and you get a community out of it. And I think, especially with we can go on a little tangent, but with social media and things like that, there's lots of studies showing, like, at the moment, because of social media, we are actually more unsociable than ever because we're all scrolling our phones and not talking to each other. So it's nice that you guys have a community where you go out all engaging in sort of a sport that you've all got a mutual interest in.
Yeah.
And then you've got that social aspect after.
Yeah. I think like it's funny because every single time we meet up, me and Lauren just look at each other in front of like all these people that we've got together and just think like, as if we started this.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like it's such a rewarding thing to think that like there are people who've never met each other before who have become mates through this thing that we've set up. We've made new really good mates from it, and it's just a really nice community thing to do.
Yeah.
And I'm still a bit in disbelief of it. We've got like 70 to 80 people in the group chat now that have all either come or wanting to come.
Yeah. And as it grows as well, you can always have like, you could split it up to people like, although it's still a social run club, you could have like the slightly faster group and the very beginner group, and you can decide which group you want to be in.
Yeah.
And that's, or a slightly longer group and slightly shorter group. You'll meet up at the end after.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much possibility for it as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is quite nice.
Definitely. I think that what I'm gonna, I'm considering this quite closely, is because we've got a midweek evening run, which is generally a little bit quicker anyway. We've noticed, just because people finish work, it's dark. People still want the social and stuff, but they kind of want to get it done and go home, kind of thing.
Go home, have some food, get ready for tomorrow.
So they're always a little bit quicker. So I'm tempted to make that one like an actual session. So I'm trying to find like a kilometre long loop or something where we can do like intervals of a kilometre or 700 metres or whatever. To do like a circuit or a loop, rest and then go again, and have it as like an actual like interval session.
You could do it like pairing up as well, couldn't you? And just go, right, you go, your rest is someone else is going. There you are, bit of a plug for you.
So yeah, and because a lot of them are doing the Chester 10K or the Liverpool half, so I think that'll be quite a good thing to do anyway. Just have a more of a structured thing in the midweek.
The only place I ever see run clubs advertised, well, I wouldn't really call it advertising, but sort of self-promotion, isn't it? But is on Instagram. It's probably the social media tool that I use the most. But at the end of the day, like you don't see it across Facebook, which I think is sort of, I don't want to say it's tailored more towards, but it's definitely, the user base on it is definitely an older generation. And a lot more of the younger generation are using things like Instagram and then TikTok. But like it would be a really useful club for those, I want to say like middle-aged towards, sort of retirement age, just to keep fit, because I know parkrun serves that purpose, but that's always 5K and the route is always the same, which is great for some people when they want to beat certain times, and you and I both love doing it, but I think a run club does serve a different purpose, especially if someone just wants to run. Like you and I, we play rugby, we go to the gym. Some people might just really enjoy running, and running once a week, that a park run does doesn't really serve that purpose.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think our one in particular, we do just post on Instagram, and that, to be honest, that gets enough traction for us anyway.
Yeah.
And we have noticed that whether it's because of the way that we're advertising it as a social run, and we, the posts that we've got are generally of people who are in their mid 20s.
Yeah.
I think
like young professionals
kind of thing. I think that kind of like, because we have had a couple of older, not old, but older people in their like 30s or late 30s that have come and saying, oh, we're a little bit nervous because, obviously you guys are a little bit younger. But now we're here, we realise that it's not an issue at all. And we're just like, yeah, as long as you match the vibe, like it's fine.
Yeah.
But I
think that's it as well, because you're not necessarily a business. You're doing it more for the community rather than like the growth of it. I mean, it would be great if you had loads and loads of people doing it, wouldn't it? But at the end of the day, it's a run club. People can join if they want to or not, and it's not for profit. So no, it's really good. It's nice to see that you're doing something and it's other people are benefiting from.
Yeah. Honestly, there's one lad who he's been making such good progress. Like the first time he was having to stop relatively frequently throughout the run, or like if we were going uphill, he'd have to walk it or whatever. But we did one on Thursday, last night, and he just did the whole 5 kilometre just non-stop,
Nice.
good pace as well. Like it was quite a quick run as well.
Yeah.
And me and Lauren said to him afterwards, like, fucking hell, like, you've not been. I think he must have been coming the last 2 months, but already he's like just improved so significantly.
That's good to see.
So it's mad that I'm not saying that Run Club was the reason behind that, because he has been doing his own runs like in the background, but he got into running through us, which I think is just really cool.
Yeah, it's giving back, isn't it? It's giving someone an avenue to try something without having to buy something.
Yeah.
Like join a club where they might have to buy a membership and actually might not be something they enjoy, but also the fact that you have that community aspect of it as well also might have just reinforced, actually, this is something I really enjoy. And then he might just be doing his own stuff in his own time, but really look forward to the social time that you guys can provide. Because, I think back when I was a kid, coming through school, I know it's, as you said, for younger sort of young professionals, it's for everyone, but the cohort that you get as young professionals. But when I was a kid growing up, like I did stuff after school, like sports every day.
Yeah.
And like I would never think, I'm gonna just go play football with my mates out in the park, because I was always doing some form of club. When you as soon as you leave school, those sorts of clubs that you do after school or after work every day, like people just don't do those things anymore.
Yeah.
Not unless you are, that's already in your mindset. Like I always just used to go to the gym after college, and then after uni, and then now after work. But some people just don't have those sorts of stuff started early. So at least you can provide that stuff for midweek, not just on the weekend. Because if you're just running on the weekend, it's it's bundling all your what was I going to say? Like bundling all your work effort into 2 days out of 7.
Yeah.
So, what would you recommend for anyone like starting up, like wanting to get into Run Club?
Get into Run Club, like start their own Run Club.
No,
like,
as in like
getting
into yours or getting into somebody else's.
I mean, the pathway that people kind of get into our Run Club is just messaging us on social media. I think this is the good thing about, like, we knock social media a lot, to be fair, but the good thing is on social media you can type in the search engine Run Club. You can see, like, based off location, and you can find a local Run Club that someone set up. All it takes is just a message on Instagram. Like we're the same. Like, we've had ridiculous amounts of people messages on Instagram to come and join us. So I guess the best way to kind of go about doing it is message a Run Club on Instagram that's local to you. Ask them about it, because a lot of people ask us, like, what distance do we do? How fast are we? Like, what time do we run it in? And just you know things that you want to know about it, so you know what to expect going into it. Because to be fair, if you're quite new to running and you're looking to get into a run club, there's a chance that particular run club might be a bit quick or a little bit whatever, which is fine. Each run club's going to be different, but just slide in the DMs. I suppose that's how people do it with us. Like,
So what if someone was thinking, "Oh, I want to join Chester Run Club"? What would you say to them is your average distance that you do, the average time you're out and about? Because obviously if you're stopping every now and then, it's probably going to be a bit quicker than a certain run time. And speed, distance, and time you're out.
Yeah.
What do you do?
We at the minute we're running 5 kilometers about half an hour. But with a couple of stop starts and stuff, but like I said, it is a sociable pace. People are running and talking. It's not like you're in a dark place and you're grafting. It's not that kind of run. But every run club's different. There's a run club which has been going a lot longer than ours, which is really, really good. It's a little bit more structured, a lot faster, and the average age is a little bit older. So again, every run club's different, but ours in particular is a social run club. You can just turn up, meet new people, and have a bit of a run on a Sunday morning. Yeah.
No, it sounds really good, mate. And I think for anyone out there that's looking to get into running, it's a good in.
It is a good in. Yeah.
You've not got to pay a membership. You're meeting like-minded individuals, and the organisers of that run club are likely to want you to be there. That's the whole reason why they set up the club. So message them and just say, tell them all your worries, and I'm sure they'll be able to put them to bed. Or at least they might say, oh, well, come on this date, we'll do a slower one, and it'll be more for some beginners. But at least you're more in the know of what to do then.
And don't be afraid to ask questions about it as well, because ultimately the people who've set up the run club want people to come, otherwise they wouldn't have done it. So,
so don't ever feel like you aren't good enough to be in a run club, because the whole idea
the whole point of it
is to get people into running. So no, and it's a great little way to improve your fitness at the end of the day, and obviously improving your fitness, but also improving your mental health. So
definitely
awesome, nice work, well done for setting it up.
When are you coming?
Hey,
when are you going to come?
You always do it on a Sunday.
I'm hungover there.
I'm not hungover, I don't drink that much, but I just...
you are rugbying on Saturday.
I rugby on a Saturday and I'm like, I'm just going to sit down today.
Even nice. Crofty's come.
Has he? He's done it once.
Just saying. Yeah, once more than you, mate.
Yeah, fair enough.
Anyway.
Should we wrap that up?
I think so, yeah.
Nice.
Thanks, mate.
Arrivederci.
Arrivederci.